everyone. Welcome to Men on Fire. My name is Micah Wren, a former mechanic and engineer turned transformational teacher. And each week I'll deliver an inspiring message to help you excavate those repressed inner negative feelings and install new thoughts that will finally allow you to truly become the person you were born to be. Welcome to another episode of Men on Fire here on Soul Mechanic TV and Soul Mechanic Radio. I got a lot of response from my little video on us moving and heading to Panama, and many people were wondering, well, where are you going in Panama? What are your plans? So I thought I'd just make a quick video to address that, and I apologize for I think you can see some boxes, mattresses in the background. This is the loft over our garage, so we have had two bedrooms up here, so they're being torn apart, of course, and everything being either bought or sold or moved. So anyway, getting back to Panama, we are going to go on a tour with a company called Panama Relocation Tours, which you can look up on the net quite easily. Great company. They did have major tours with, on a huge bus, coach style bus, and going to different areas across Panama. And they still do, but not as many because, of course, the pandemic. But they also have private tours, which we're going to do. So we're going to meet up with a couple of different guides over the first week while we're there. And we're going to have a look at different places. So we'll fly into Panama City, and then we'll get a guide to meet us. And we're going to go, it's probably, it must be about 2.5 hour drive anyway, to our first destination, which is the Azuero Peninsula of Panama. And it's called that, I think actually the name means dry arc. And that's because it's one of the driest places in Panama. And Panama, the summers, which are very warm and not that much rain, start in probably end of November, December, and go to about the end of April or mid-April. So that's their summer, which is probably our winter up here in North America. So after that, it's more what they call the rainy season. So it rains quite a bit more often. There are a few times where it's downpours for quite a while. I guess you could consider it more of a tropical climate at that point. But the Azuero Peninsula sticks out into the Pacific, and it doesn't get that much rain, and still some beautiful cooling breezes off the ocean over the winter. And right on the beach, I know there's one guy there, his name is Phil, and he even mentions when he's laying in his hammock, he has to put a blanket on him in the what normally would be 90 degree plus heat. So it does cool down with some nice cool breezes, which we'll be looking forward to, and we find appealing. So it's not quite as hot all the time. In the Azuero Peninsula, the capital city is Chitre, and then there's Las Tablas, which is very close to Ubarito Beach, which is where Phil lives, and which we really want to check out that area. And there's a beautiful little town a little further south called Pedesi. And then from there, there's a smaller town and a beautiful beach, actually surfing beach at Vanau. So we're looking at those areas, probably the first 2-3 days that we're there. And then we're going to move on, and we're going to move further on into what the agricultural region called Cherokee. And we're going to check out a beach, which is about 30 minutes drive south from David. And David is the second biggest city in Panama, and the flights you can get are about a 50-minute flight, a 50-minute flight to Panama City. So we could fly into Panama City and then go to David, and it's only a 30-minute drive to where we want to go. And David, being the second biggest city, has all the amenities and stores, and there's even things like Costco type stores. I think it's called Price Mart down there, but we've been in them, and it's just like being in a Costco. You can get anything you want in there. So David has a lot of hospitals and all that sort of thing too. So a lot of things, but half an hour out is nice, and it's a beach there called La Barqueta Beach, which looks wonderful. And we haven't been there yet, so we're excited to check that out and stay there a night or two and check the whole region out to see where we maybe would like to spend time there, because it's convenient with the airport in David to Panama City link to get out. And so we don't have to maybe use a small plane from Chitre, for example. And you don't really want to drive into Panama City if you don't need to, because the traffic is horrendous. And stop signs and red lights are just suggestions, believe me. Anyway, also a little bit north of David is a town called Boquete, and that's where a lot of expats settle in Panama because of the climate. The climate is usually around 70 to 75 degrees, which would be about 21 to 25 degrees year round. So it's a great climate, but it's a little bit higher elevation. And if you go a little bit further north of Boquete, there's lots of coffee plantations. So the climate is just right for that. So it's a very nice and appealing climate, has a large expat community and a beautiful area as well, but it's not at the beach. That's the kicker. And also, like, the homes don't have any heat, right, over there. So I know I've read some things online about people saying, gee, it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 55, which is around 10, 12 degrees Celsius. And, there's no heaters in the place, right? So they're bundling up, and that's a little bit too cool at times. So it's not that it never dips that low, but, I think overall the climate up there is very, very reasonable. So we're going to check all those three places out, and maybe a little more in between. There's a lovely place called Boca Chica, which is a small little fishing village that we did take a beautiful trip on by boat and visiting neighboring islands and that sort of thing. And also very close to that is a town called Las Lajas, which our good friends live nearby at a beach called Playa Las Lajas. And that's where we stayed initially. And if you've seen any of the videos that I had walking on a beach in Panama, that's where it was. It's a 14-kilometer long beach. It's just beautiful. The sunsets are epic. And we might even, during our second week, see if we can get a place very close to that and relax and stay there for another week or week and a half, and before we fly home, and kind of mull things over, what we've seen, and maybe we'll have a rental car, so we'll be able to go visit them again maybe and look at a few more things like that. So those are the plans. Hopefully late September, October this year, depending on how the pandemic is going around the world, and whether we have our second shots by then or not, which I'm certainly hoping we do. And we have no issues getting into the country, getting out of the country, and back into Canada and all that. So that's kind of our plan, and we're very excited about it because we want to do that late this year and then go back in January and spend the whole month there in January. And then the following year is when we're going to start our full-time winters. So in 2022, we'll probably go down in November and come back in April. So that's the plan, and we'll do that maybe for a couple of years and then decide, do we want to move down full time? Who knows? These things can get expedited, or sometimes it can also slow down. So we'll see what happens, and I just thought I'd let you in on what's going on. This is the 83rd episode of Men on Fire, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to put one out next week, probably because that's our moving week and things going to get real busy around here real fast. So perhaps nothing next week, but the following week, maybe I'll have it set up at the apartment and there'll be a different scene behind me. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly. Please leave a comment below or let me know how you feel about what's going on and my Panama vacation tours with great conviction. Anyway, to bring you all the best from the Soul Mechanic here on Men on Fire. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now. you so much for listening to today's episode. As always, keep what feels good and dump what doesn't. And remember, live without judgment, give without expectation, and love for no reason. Follow those 3 simple expressions, and you'll be well on your way to an inspirational, intentional, and successful life. Until next time, you're the one.